Good morning, everybody. Jerry here again with a little bit of everything. So, got a half hour before I gotta go into work, and wanted to just make a quick video. Um, Drive to work today wasn't really that bad at all. Didn't hit much traffic, if any, which is a miracle in and of itself. So, driving to work today, I was trying to figure out, what would be the best, quick video I could possibly do. A lot of the topics that I want to discuss on my channel are, could go on for some time, depending on what I actually bring out there. I know I mentioned I wanted to do a lot about medical, and then kind of just thinking about things today, and something I wanted to touch base on is what a lot of people, what I don't really see is the actual. I don't really see people talking a lot about their experiences when it comes to the Traffic Violations Bureau here in the state of New York. I don't know if any of you have dealt with it. I'm probably sure you have, because it's basically a cash cow for the state. I've seen fines in thousands. But needless to say, I personally have had my driver's license since I was about 18 years old. I'm 30 now, so had it for a while. Had it taken away a couple times. Needless to say, I was young, I was stupid, and didn't know any better. I didn't really have somebody to educate me on. Excuse me, on the proper inner workings of the system, so to speak. But hopefully today I'll be able to, give you guys that information. So with the Traffic Violations Bureau, when you receive a moving violation, speeding, illegal turn signal, illegal turns, failing to stop for a stop sign, avoiding traffic control device, talking on your cell phone, texting while driving, DUI, DWI, all that stuff. Except for DWI and DUI, those come with additional court visits, or appearances, I should say, because they're criminal infractions as well than vehicle traffic law. So that's a little bit different. I haven't experienced that because thankfully I've never drank and drive or been on any kind of substance while operating a motor vehicle. However, I do have a heavy foot, so I can speak to the speeding tickets personally. I've received 3 speeding tickets in my time as a licensed, driver here in the state of New York. Found guilty on all 3 tickets. I mean, fighting these tickets yourself, if you're not pre-law, or if you don't have, or if you put the time in to actually read the law and then actually going to court, it's without a real lawyer, it's hard to beat these things. I can tell you from personal experience that the highway patrolmen, they do have every advantage. They go in there, the judges automatically believe them. It's your responsibility to the burden of proof is on them. It is on you, basically, to defend yourself. And forgive me if I'm saying the terms wrong. I know a lot of medical. This is a little, as you could probably know, I've been found guilty on all these tickets. But yeah, so, the cops come in, they're, you come in first, cops come in usually later, or they're usually already sitting there. Give them your driver's license. They tell you have a seat. When they call your name, you'll be sworn in before an administrative law judge. These are judges where it's not like a regular court for criminal charges per se. Or any kind of, charge or, legal dispute per se. It's just basically, there's a judge there, they get paid to interpret vehicle traffic law, and that's it. And it's the administration of the law, basically. So, a cop has to meet certain criteria for the violation to stick, so to speak. And if you've already been there, you know that these particular police officers have everything written down with blanks for your name, your vehicle, your speed, and where you got caught. So, you know, don't think that these guys don't know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They get paid to do these things because they know that if they don't bring in this money, they get in trouble. So don't sit there and pretend like, oh, you know, the cop won't show up. It's very rare where the police officer doesn't show up. I've had an instance where I was able to get out of a ticket because the police officer didn't show up, but that was like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It'll never happen again. Highly doubt it. New York City is notorious for, you know, moving violations and administrative law judges and all that crap. But, in terms of the actual process, you know, if you don't have solid, concrete evidence, such as dash cam footage, prior knowledge of the inner workings of how highway patrol cops use radar and LiDAR, I can attest that on my 3 speeding tickets, 2 were LiDAR, which is laser radar, and 1 was regular radar. So yes, and LiDAR is accurate within, I think it's 1,000 yards, something like that. I was reading. I could be wrong, but you know, feel free to look it up. But it's accurate within that far, which is amazing. You know, I could talk someone blue in the face, but no matter what, if you don't go in there with either the right documentation and proof that a judge, you know, to sway a judge's mind, you're guilty. But you're guilty before you've even booked your court date. Unfortunately, that's how the system is stacked. Hiring a lawyer, well, you know, you can go that route, and depending on which court you go to, I've, you know, dealt with the Bronx County courts and the Bronx, you know, traffic violations bureau courts. Sorry, and I can tell you that the judges there do have, I wouldn't say deals. I think that's the wrong word. They know who their lawyers are, and they know that these lawyers butter these judges up. And, you know, you hire a certain lawyer, you know you're probably going to get off because, oh, there goes my light. Hold on. Got a tractor trailer pulling out of my job here. Alright. 9 times out of 10, you know that this judge and this lawyer are somehow friends. And, you know, or just the fact that they've worked there so long, like there's like every time I've gone to Traffic Violation Bureau, it's like the same 3 lawyers that hustle there. And you know what? I've seen them get people off, not gonna lie. That, you know, I've also seen people who have fucked up so badly that no matter what lawyer you get, you screwed up. Simple as that. You gotta accept your punishment. You know, so it's the Traffic Violation Bureau is definitely a different beast than any of the other courts I've been to. Until recently, I've never seen them lower a speeding ticket, but you know, I did the last one I got, and the last one I fought, the judge did lower the speeding ticket, which I thought was decent of her. So they found guilty, but not as much points. So not bad, but you know, it's still guilty. It's still on my license. You know, tickets outside of New York City, man, piece of cake. I mean, these towns, Westchester County, notorious. I mean, I've gotten violations there, but, well, not me personally, but I know people who get violations there, and they go and they fight these tickets. Seatbelt, they knock it down to a parking ticket, like Yonkers notorious. They knock everything down to a parking ticket. I mean, I've walked in there, I think I got pulled over for a seatbelt ticket in Yonkers. Went to court, they knocked it down to a $50 parking ticket versus the $187 it actually costs to pay a seatbelt ticket. So it does pay to, in theory, fight these tickets, but again, it all depends on where you got the ticket, what the circumstances are, and if you have a winnable case. And that's, you know, obviously this is all in personal opinion, but I've dealt with these things. And even for example, A long time ago, my ex, she had gotten pulled over for, what did she get pulled over? She got pulled over for unlicensed operation of a motor vehicle because she didn't have a license on her. And she got pulled over for undetermined speeding. So the cop thought she was speeding, but couldn't tell or didn't have the necessary tools to actually gauge her speed. So whatever, went to court. I think this was in Mamaroneck. And I can tell you right there, the from the time of the actual alleged violation to the date of court was a year. So that says it right there. And, you know, we go in. She brought her license with her. The cop came out, talked to her. Now, mind you, in New York City, the cops don't talk to you before a trial. Before going before the judge. Up there, they'll talk to you. The cop came out, talked to her, said, look, do you have your license? She said yes. They knocked that ticket out completely. The undetermined speeding, parking ticket, $50. That's my point. And everywhere else where money is not the motivating factor, it is easier to, I don't want to say get away with murder, but it's easier to live and drive in those places. New York City, it don't matter what you do, how you do, or what it is. Trying to get out of a ticket is hard. Unless you hire a lawyer or unless you know, like I said, you know what you're talking about, you've done your research, and, you know, you can convince a judge to change their mind. Me personally, I've only been ever to change a judge's mind once. And again, that was because it was just luck. Other than that, they're out to get your money. Simple as that. And trust me, the amount of money I've spent on moving violations, this, that, and the third, I probably could have paid, well, no, I wouldn't say pay for a car, but it was expensive, to say the least. But yeah, so, you know, if this was just a brief, you know, I could speak about this stuff for ages. I mean, I can go into stories, details, but I didn't want to bore everybody. If you like what you heard, you know, definitely give a like, comment, subscribe, and see you next time.